7,880 pounds, the Cherokee 245 KS coming in on trade here at Headboard RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And this is what happens when you grab the order sheet for a Cherokee fifth wheel and say, I want all of the options. This one basically has about everything put onto it that you could possibly put onto a Cherokee 245 the year this was built. With no bedroom or closet slide upstairs, it has a shockingly manageable hitch weight. So this is one of the few that I do call truly half-ton towable. You know, a lot of things that are called half-ton fifth wheels, if you follow a lot of my videos, you know I'm not a big fan of that. Overall, appears to be very well kept, especially with that fiberglass skin upgrade. It's looking absolutely fantastic, and that trend continues as we go inside. When the slides are closed up, at first glance, she's not super travel friendly. You can walk in, you can sit on the couch, you can get to the bedroom like where I'm sitting right now, no big deal. But to actually pack the camper up and try to use it, that's another story. However, this is on a very fast moving one button hydraulic slide. Hydraulic slides are going to push the smallest, lightest slide room first, and in this case, that means that it opens up basically all of the kitchen storage first. So you can see that about 5 seconds of pushing that, and you know we nudge open here, and if we continue to hold it a little bit longer, you'll see that that kitchen slide opens right up. And even now, even if we don't go all the way open, if you just want to get it packed up in the driveway, that's all it takes. You can get to the refrigerator, you can get to the island, you can get to the pantry easily, or you could open it further and be able to get to everything, basically. So it's got reasonable travel friendliness. You do have to push the button a little bit. It's not just that way out of the box, but it's also not like a terribly inconvenient thing to do that. Inside of this thing, it looks new. It looks brand new in here. I can't find anything where I'm really concerned it has been kept clean, well kept, well maintained. There's no like human smell in here. There are some campers, people come in and you're just kind of like, yeah, you know, I can smell that you were in here. I don't smell that. None of that's here. This is clean, well kept, and again, really intelligently appointed. And now this is going to sound crazy, like I'm splitting hairs, but like when I'm standing here looking at this, it doesn't really feel like a fifth wheel to me. And that's really because I think at the end of the day, I don't really consider this, obviously yes, technically it is a fifth wheel, but I look at it more as a gooseneck travel trailer, and I know that I'm really splitting hairs, but when you look at it that way, the way that I just described, as a travel trailer that just has a gooseneck for the bed and for hitching, it starts to make more sense, because this is not how fifth wheels are normally laid out. This is an irregular layout. This is very much like, there are travel trailers shaped like this all day long, and that's who Cherokee really is king of, is travel trailers. They are by far and away Forest River's most successful travel trailer out there. It's one of the things I like I like about them here at Headboard RV. They're very popular. But they are so popular, actually, like you'll say, well, if it's so cool, why don't they build this today? Long story short, their travel trailers are so popular, they had to kind of phase out their fifth wheels just to meet travel trailer production. That's the only reason that this isn't still built today. But it's still appointed and built exactly like their incredibly popular trailers. So big super slide here with max size windows. Now here in their fifth wheels, they were excellent about putting these upper skylights in. I have no lights on. There's actually LED lights above both slides. I don't have any lighting on in this thing because I wanted to clearly demonstrate just how nice and light and bright and open and airy this thing feels. Now, if you do want to block all this out, you want some privacy, one of the cool parts in their fifth wheels, kind of like their destination trailers at Cherokee, they use these nicer wooden, I call it plantation blinds, I believe is the phrasing for that. But what I like about those is you can actually clean them. Now your tabletop, countertop, any top, every top, is going to be thermal foil, sealed edged, pressed membrane. All those different words kind of describe the exact same thing in process. Everyone seems to identify with a little different word. Now, real quick note, you've got like 40-inch full extension drawers under both sides of this bench dinette right here, so that you have easy access to all the storage under this thing. And of course it can fold down into a sleeper. The countertop over here, the island is huge. By going with a recessed stovetop, Well, the thermofoil counters, they allow you to recess the sink and the stove. So even though this is not a big camper, it's not long, but it gets wide. So it's almost as wide as the living space is long when you reach a destination. So huge island loaded with storage, tons and tons of prep space. You'll find power outlets on each side of the island for easy use and access. There's more outlets over here. I also like the fact that they put the microwave low. I like that. I prefer low-mounted microwaves because it really lessens the chance of somebody getting hurt if you spill a hot liquid coming out of the microwave. If it's up top and it goes down your arms, you're gonna really get hurt. If it's right here, it might splash your shins a little bit, but you're gonna be fine, and that's what I like about these. I also like the fact that by not being a laminated wall trailer, there are benefits to it, guys. That's something not everybody understands. And that power outlet right there is one of the best ones. You can't put outlets like that in the wall of a normal fifth wheel in this category with 1.5-inch walls. This Cherokee, you don't have that problem because you don't have laminated walls to try to fish wires through. So that's a big advantage there. Over here, corner pantry, it's something that's very easy to overlook, but it's a lot of storage space that they applied to this thing right here. If you didn't have this right here, you would, I think this is one of the things you would truly, truly miss. And the only way you can really tell it's used is because they have like a salt packet left over from some restaurant, I guess. Back here in the bathroom as we come through, I want to point out the fact that it's going to throw some people off, that door is not nearly to the ceiling. Well, it doesn't need to be nearly to the ceiling. To give you an idea, I'm 6'3" with these shoes on. You can see it's plenty tall. It's not like somebody can peek over the top of this thing. You're not losing privacy. Instead, what you're doing is improving airflow. Because if you want to open those big windows we already looked at and turn this thing on, you'll get an awesome 6-mile-an-hour breeze just rolling through your camper, keeping you nice and cool and refreshed. For just extra light back here, we do have this huge vertical window, which you can, of course, pull a privacy shade onto, and a really big vanity and sink. Meaning, while you're right here, you have enough room where you can sit down like you're a blow dryer, or shaver, or toothbrush, or whatever. And then when you're not using it, you have a huge vanity here that can actually fit a blow dryer. It's nice and big and deep that way. Now, with the bathroom being on the lower deck of a fifth wheel, you've got about 8 feet of headroom up here. You are never going to have headroom issues in this. I don't care what basketball team you play for. You're fine. The center for the New York Knicks, he's going to do just fine in here. But as we turn around, this is probably the coolest part of this bathroom is all of the extra storage that you have in here. You've got all that linen storage behind the toilet and then just that extra big closet. Now, it doesn't go all the way to the floor. It doesn't go here because that's where things like your furnace or maybe your water heater or something are located. They had to put the systems somewhere. But generally speaking, you want storage that's up, not down, so that you don't have to get on your hands and knees to get to it. There you go. Moving forward, these have very simple entertainment centers. Like you do have a DVD Bluetooth stereo. You'll notice that there's no TV there, nor was there one from the factory. Instead of spending money on overpriced TVs, Cherokee spends money on things like the nicer countertops. Or up here, take a look at this, a 12-volt ceiling fan. You'll hear a lot of things described as a residential ceiling fan because it looks very residential, like the thing you'd have in your house. But this is a 12-volt powered, meaning battery-powered ceiling fan, just like the fan in the bathroom or the lights in the camper. So if you're boondocking, you can use this to keep some air flowing through your camper and stirred up instead of feeling stagnant and stale and sweaty and etc. And again, you're going to need a 2 or 3 stepper to get to these upper cabinets versus the lower ones, but the fact is they're there and it's not wasted space. And that's actually a handy little coat closet right by the door when you walk in. Pretty cool. And this is the perfect little phone charger nook right here. Now again, this is just like I said, it's a gooseneck travel trailer, and this is kind of what I mean. Normally upstairs in a fifth wheel, you have a bedroom and bathroom in the upper deck. We don't have that here. That's also one of the reasons this does not have an extremely heavy tongue weight, so that it's not going to bury the payload capacity of a truck or something. It's got easy lift storage under the bed right here, and that, I mean, you can throw a lot of extra stuff in there. And full-length hanging closets are another thing I'd like to kind of point out, but the thing I really wanted to zero in on when I walk through this, I want to point out that headboard. You've got those outlets up there, and that's a perfect little like shelf to throw a phone, chargers or anything like that. That is one of the most useful things in this bedroom right here. If you choose to add a TV, she is all wired for it. You'll just notice that nobody ever did. It doesn't look like there was ever a TV in this. they're swapping this out for a much larger family rig, a big triple slide bath and a half open range bunkhouse here at Haylett RV. So it looks like this was the couple's rig, and then maybe once we started a family, I don't know the full details, they decided to move more into that bunkhouse arrangement. That's the only reason this is here. They used it, they took care of it, they loved it, they just needed more of it basically. Back outside here, one of the first things I want to talk about is that slide under the awning. That is one of those things that spooks a lot of people, and I understand why. That awning space, that patio space is very valuable. You don't want to give that up. So I wanted to make sure I open that up so you folks get to see unequivocally there's way more than enough room to throw a patio table here. That slide sticks out maybe 18 inches, and that's, I don't know, like an 8-10 foot awning or something like that. There's plenty of room for chairs or picnic table or whatever under there. Now, a couple other neat things. If it is kind of drizzly, you want to spend some time outside, this is an easy tilt awning, and you just saw how it works. That's exactly how complicated this thing is. With 2 fingers, you can tilt that down and there you go. But what's better is it's also self-correcting. So if you leave it like that, and then you go to bed, and you wake up, and the weatherman got it wrong, because that never happens, am I right, people? The point is, it will, basically the arms will correct themselves, and it will fold itself back flat when you close it up. No big deal, no harm lost there. The nose cap up front here, you see this is a full cap. Is this your old camper, sir?
Yeah, it's actually, I grabbed the key.
No, go ahead. Go. No problem. You're not affecting us whatsoever. Welcome and thank you for choosing our doorstep. You're going to be on YouTube. You're famous. Thank you very kindly for picking our door. Okay, so where was that? Full nose cap on this one right here, which is something you don't usually see in a smaller fifth wheel class. You usually see what I call a 1/2 or 3/4 cap. And the difference there is, like, you can't see the roof line from here. Thank you again, and congratulations, by the way, sir. The roof line, you know, it's all protected up top. It doesn't, the roof where the roof meets the nose cap isn't on the front of the RV where a lot of wind exposure and stuff can take place. If I'm being ultra picky on this, the only thing I can say is that you see that the decals right on the nose where it says Cherokee have the slightest amount of weathering to them. The corners have curled a little bit. That's it. That's the only thing I can say about this coach. Normally this would have an aluminum, you know, corrugated skin. This has that fiberglass upgrade, and what's nice is it's a full high gloss gel coat. It's pre-bonded to a double layer offset Luan, just like a big luxury fifth wheel, and then it's attached to the normal skeleton that this trailer would always have, but it gives it that nicer higher end look at more of a Larry Lunchbucket and Jane 6-pack price point. We passed on the nose on the other side. There is a little simple solar prep plug. We've got power front jacks here doing all the heavy lifting and leveling for us. This has enclosed holding tanks. So it's not some like crazy, silly, nonsense Arctic package. I'm not trying to oversell or falsify anything here. Basically just the holding tanks, which is the most critical part I think most people are really looking for when they ask about underbelly stuff. Those are enclosed and protected from you know, wind abuse, debris, critters, etc. Aluminum wheel option was applied to this one. Like I said, basically every option was put on this. Like the roof ladder was put on the back here, and I'm walking right in front of a car. I'm going to get run over. My apologies. Sorry about that, sir. Just give me a bad look. Maybe I should watch where I'm going. I don't know. Anyway, backup camera ready. We've got a 200-pound rated cargo rack on the back here with spare tire, and you do not need to take the spare tire off that to make that sucker work. Overall, I mean, I'm happy with what I see here. People who tend to keep their RVs clean like this tend to, you know, keep their RVs in good shape and keep on top of their maintenance. And on that note, one of the things I noticed when I walked through is it was obvious to me that they had done some appropriate touch-up resealing on this corner here. So they were active on preventative maintenance. And before we go upstairs to look at the roof, one other thing I do want to look at is the little gas grill quick connect down here. What I like about it is that it's not under an awning. A lot of people get kind of spooked by that because they don't want the smoky, fumey stuff to go up under and maybe stain the awning. It doesn't really happen the way people think it's going to. The heat will just roll out from the other side of the awning. But it's not there, so we don't have to have that little peace of mind worry. It took about exactly 4.1 seconds for me to look at this roof to know how well kept this RV was. If someone takes the time and effort to keep their RV clean like this, to keep their seals in good shape, I mean, that's the number one biggest thing I think you could ever say about someone. Like, this front transition strip looks good. You can see that it was kept, you know, washed and conditioned with frequency. That's part of the reason that this doesn't have seal problems, because the UV conditioners in an RV roof wash mixture, well, you're going to naturally, as you go through and brush them on with that little soft bristle brush, you're going to make contact with these seals. So by default, those seals kind of get the benefit of UV protection just from cleaning your RV's roof. So it's one of the reasons you should always keep on top of that. But the other reason is something like this: lack of maintenance. You know, by keeping on top of it, you didn't have to fix things. This is a case of an ounce of prevention being worth a pound of cure. And it's also part of the reason that, you know, we were able to treat these folks very nicely on trade-in figures. You know, when there's no problems, we can work a lot closer with you than when something has issues. So everything up here looks good. Inside, outside, upside down, and inside out. I can't find anything on this camper that really concerns me. You know, a lot of years of experience go into doing what we do here at Haylett RV. Obviously, we see thousands of RVs through here on a given day. We usually have 400, or not given day, given year, pardon me. Well, geez, here comes a big Montana leaving right now. You get the idea. So, basically, guys, whether it's hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between, we do it all at Haylett RV. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.